guys, my name is Godspower Oshodin, and I'm so excited to sit with my young friend. I call her a prodigy because she's just 14 years old. Tell them.
My name is Brianna Njambi.
Njambi sounds what tribe in Kenya?
It's Kikuyu.
Oh, what's the meaning of Njambi?
It's strong elephant in Kikuyu.
Amazing.
Thank you.
I think that's what Africa stands for.
Well, I think that Africa would be an amazing and very powerful continent if our government saw Africa and saw the vision that PLO has for it. He's using PLO Lumumba.
Oh, Professor PLO Lumumba. Oh, nice.
He's using everything that he's learned from people like Kwame Nkrumah and Thomas Sankara to try and build Africa into its strongest version of itself. Problem is, throughout history, we've mainly been thinking about our individual cultures, yet there's so much can learn, not just from our ancestors, but from other cultures.
Amazing.
So if we had taken that initiative to learn from everyone else, then we would actually have this whole problem where we're mainly relying on technology and history and everything from different countries. His teachings are very inspiring. All that he's not just taught the people around us, but taught the youth of Africa is very inspiring. And I aspire to be a lawyer just so that I can use just so that I can use what he's taught me from all his conferences and all his meetings to create Africa in my own way.
Wow.
To make it a beautiful and powerful country as we were before.
Our history, do you think they are teaching us the right history?
Not really, because in most schools now, you'll hear kids learning about Greek and Roman history or about all the different presidents from America or the Queen of Britain and all that. But then they don't really teach about what's happening in our own continent. You'll barely walk into a class and find a student who knows about the first president of Ghana or the current president of Nigeria, and so on. At this very moment, every single child or teen in youth in Africa mainly wants to go to a different country for education when we have everything that we need here. We just don't know how to use it the way PLO needs us to use it, because his teachings are what's going to help everyone, including all the schools in Africa, all the colleges in Africa, to mold the youth into the best leaders possible.
So it means we can actually still learn their history and have our own history inside of us.
We can still learn our history, but because of all the colonization, our history has been tainted. We don't really have anything that's really ours. Because
wow, how old are you?
14.
That's smart for you to have the perception that our history has been tainted because of, but we are still in new colonization.
That's true, because let's say the British system, they don't really teach us about the history of Africa. They don't teach us about our old religions, about what really happened during the colonization, what our founding fathers wanted for our countries, for the whole of Africa. They mainly teach about other countries, about things that wouldn't really help us with anything that could make Africa stronger. They're basically manipulating us at our youth, so we don't have the strength that we would have in general to create Africa the way it was meant to be. Like
you said, our history has been tainted and some other stuff. That's because of leadership. If we're not getting that leadership, what are the youth supposed to do? What do you think we're supposed to do? Like people like you, you're quite smart at 14.
Well, we first have to accept our culture and most people, including me, have like problems understanding our native language or the language that was mainly used to communicate in my country before colonization, because we've basically been attacked in our own country, and because we're too busy trying to protect the things that you can't take with you when you die, we've basically weakened ourselves for other countries to come and take what they want. They came with the Bible but left with gold. They came with a different religion but left with more things. They left with our culture, they left with our people, they left with...
Meaning they've deceived us with religion and some of these other stuffs.
Yes, and till today, you'll never find that everyone, like people are still worshipping the same gods that they used to in the past. Everyone is now relying on the Christian God. Everyone is now using the modern Roman calendar, when before we had our own calendar, we had our own gods, we had our own cultures, but now we all have the same thing. They basically came and took what makes us unique, what makes us special from us.
Fantastic. But do you think it would have been better if Africa was united?
If we're united?
Just like both our founding fathers, the likes of Kwame Nkrumah, Nyerere, Modibo Keita, Thomas Sankara, Olympia, all of these guys have been fighting for Africa to be united, where we can use one passport, have one currency, so that I don't have to leave Abuja and come to Nairobi and my Naira, which is my Nigerian currency, is not useful anymore.
Well, problem is that would be very simple if we all use the same currency. You can travel to any African country without the fear of poverty, without the fear of not being able to transfer it. Because in Kenya, I'm not really sure, but I think that in Kenya you'll actually need a Kenyan identity to be able to change money from a different currency, and each currency has its own worth, its own value. So if you have a 100 naira note in Abuja, in Kenya it won't really be worth the same. So you can come with so much money from your country but then still struggle to live in a different country, and that's one of the problems. Because things like traveling, if you travel to a different country and then let's say your passport expires, then it will cause a whole other problem. You'll have to start again, which will still cost a lot of money, and you don't have the amount of money that you normally have in your country.
So that's when organizations like the African Union come in. But it looks like those organizations are not serving the interests of Africa.
They're not really serving the interest of Africa, because all governments have the only one thing that they want, and they only want power for their own country. They don't want to try and help other countries, because refugees from Uganda are being beaten, they're being attacked, they're being used as toys for very silly things in our own country. They came from their country to ours because of war, because of so many other problems, but what they had in their country is better than what they have now, and they can't leave because they have no way of living.
Unity. I think unity is Africa's problem.
If we're all united,
what do you think about what Nkrumah was talking about?
Well, Nkrumah's point of view was to join Africa for everything to be easier, for poverty not to be a common thing as it is now, for things like starvation. Because if we had just listened to all our founding fathers and joined Africa as one, then we wouldn't have problems with war, we wouldn't have problems with different cultures. Understanding other people wouldn't be so difficult, discrimination wouldn't be as bad. Because people think that racism is just in other countries, but a white man will go to a white man's land and will be treated in the worst way possible, but they'll come to our land and be treated like gods.
So what do you think about the message people, great advocates like Professor PLO Lumumba is passing?
His perspective of Africa is what everyone should see. He wants to make it, he is trying to make it a better place with education and with law. He's trying to create a safer world for everyone.
That's fantastic. I like your vast perception about Africa, and I'm quite impressed. You know, it gives a whole lot of energy.
Thank you.
We would have more conversation as the day goes forth. Okay? Thanks for that.